everybody, and I am here with Tara Stone King today. My name is Heather, and I work with the Rockpile Museum. We don't have Roberto, we don't have Robert with us today. It's the Tara and Heather show, and I'm super excited to have Tara here. In case you guys don't know her, you may have known her from Magpie Downtown, but now she is the manager of the Rockpile Museum Association. That's always a little confusing to people, but you guys are the branch that supports what the Rockpile does.
Yes, yep, we're the fundraising side of the Rockpile Museum. So we know Rockpile Museum's Campbell County government, and they need a little help with their fundraising every once in a while. And so over 30 years ago, the RMA began, and now I get the honor of managing it.
Yeah, and you've been doing it for how long now?
2.5 years now.
Nice. That just went like that.
Very quick.
Like that. And so what we wanted to come and talk to you about today, September 10th is a huge day. We want everybody to mark their calendars, because why? Tara, what's happening on September 10th?
It's the Parade of Pronghorns.
Parade of
This is an event we've been working on for a year now, just about a year, and it is going to be all happening September 10th. What the Parade of Pronghorns is a live auction with 10 life-size pronghorns. So in October of 2025, we put out a call to artists looking for 10 life-size pronghorn artists, right? We had 10 life-size pronghorns that were created out of fiberglass, and we're looking for artists to paint them. And we received a wonderful amount of support with that, a lot of artists, and we formed a committee and narrowed that down to 10. And then in addition to the auction itself, the auctioning off of these pronghorns, we wanted to add additional layers to it as well and create really just a really big community event. And that is what's happening on September 10th.
Yeah, and one of the things, if you haven't been by the museum, go by the museum because they're outside all the time. Mm-hmm. It's fun because sometimes when I leave work, I have to come back for whatever reason, there might be 5 or 10 people milling around looking at the pronghorns. What a great way to add color to the museum. It's beautiful.
They're beautiful out in the front. Yeah, they're wonderful. And the 10 artists, they didn't have a brief. They weren't told what to paint or what colors to use, but somehow collectively all 10 look so well together. Like they just display really well together. And there's some that are very realistic looking and some that have a little bit more whimsy in them, perhaps. I'm saying this directly to Heather because Heather was one of our artists, and hers definitely has a little bit of whimsy as well to it. That's just, he's fantastic.
Oh, thank you. And then we have to, we got to tell people, because I think some people did not know, and I know this is not your favorite part, which is part of the reason maybe that I like to talk about it, I don't know. But you know, before this even got off the ground, before the artists even got their pronghorn, we made Cowboys State Daily.
We
You want to talk about that?
We sure did. So if everyone recalls, right before Christmas, I do believe the day was December 19th, 2025. That was when we had this historic winds going through Wyoming. And our pronghorn were on their way up to us from Nebraska. And the company who was trucking them was unaware of the wind issue. And right on I-25, around the Dwyer exit, just north of Wheatland, they succumbed. The trailer tipped over. There was a pronghorn massacre. All 10 of our life-size pronghorns were in pieces alongside the interstate. And our company that we went through are incredibly wonderful. No one was hurt, which is the biggest thing. And they rushed to get them redone for us, and were able to deliver at the end of January, beginning of February, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
And so we were able to get those into the hands of our artists with plenty of time. But it was, Heather called it the Pronghorn Massacre, put it out on social media, and then it got picked up in Cowboy State Daily and Gillette newspaper and stuff. So yes,
you gotta have the redemption story, right? The fight back. It's kind of a Rocky story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it happened. I mean, again, if we want to go into that part. So additional layers with the Parade of Pronghorns event itself and community event. One of them that I was looking at is how can we get more community members involved at different levels? So I have found a company who does 3D printing of pronghorns. And we ordered 50 of them. The first shipment arrived and at least half of them were broke. And it was Pronghorn Massacre 2.0. But these were just miniatures. It was much easier for us to handle it. The company was incredible to work with. They got them taken care of for us and sent in. That next group arrived.
But you got to find the humor in the Pronghorn Massacre 2.0.
I was just like, man, history just really is repeating
there were a
itself.
couple that were 3.0.
Yes,
I don't think anybody knows, and I just want to take an opportunity, not that you would want me to do this, but Tara has done an amazing job along with her board, but I love the creative process. I love that you now have the little pronghorns. We tell people all the time they've sold out each time you get a batch. It's like a coloring book meets, you know, Elon Musk, in that they can take pictures, they can upload it, and so kids, anybody can paint one of these littles if they've bought the kit. And it gets uploaded and becomes part of the Parade of Pronghorns.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah, it's just kind of fun to include all sorts of different levels. We've had adults purchase them, we've had kids purchase them, and I hope to see pictures really soon of them. We've had at least 50 sold, and we have the next shipment on their way. My goal is to have another 100 before we have our event in September.
I love that.
So then we can just kind of carry it on. With that, it's a DIY paint kit. So they're the 3D printed pronghorns. They're about 8 inches. And we have custom colored paint that we've designed to go with the whole theme of it itself, with the paintbrushes and instructions how to do it, and then the QR code to upload your pronghorn once it's been painted.
Now I have to ask, only because I did not follow those instructions.
That's fine.
Is it okay if you use other paints? Okay.
This is a DIY, however you want to, but it's one of those, like, we want to make sure there's paint available for those who maybe don't have paint on too. You know, it's just kind of fun to include it all in a kit.
Well, and then that's a great segue into, that's just one layer. So you've got the auction, right? Does it cost anything to come to the auction?
The event itself on September 10th, which starts at 6 p.m., does not cost anything, no.
Okay. And that's going to be at?
The parking lot of the Rockpile Museum. Yep. So it'll be right in the parking lot of the museum.
Which I think is fantastic. And then just in case anybody's watching and wonder where on earth you park, if you can't park in the parking lot, then you can park across the street in the home health parking lot. We always have someone watching who's very technical and looking for those details.
It'll be at the home health parking lot. We have the new crosswalk that you can use to get across. If there is anyone who needs to have like handicap parking, there will be a couple spaces available at the museum. Therefore, it will leave a couple of those spaces that are closer to the highway.
Perfect.
But those will just be for those who need
and it'll
that
just
extra.
be a couple. So okay, so it's September 10th at 6 p.m. The life size will go on a live auction. Can people bid online?
Yes, we'll have an online component as well. In addition to the life size pronghorns, we are also doing resin made European mount pronghorns too. So we were thinking about this, like, okay, 10 pronghorn is actually going to sell probably really fast, and we want this to be an event, right? Not something that takes a long time, but something that takes some time, right? And so it's like, what's an additional layer that we can add into this? And it took months of trying to find something else that was pronghorn related, because it's the Parade of Pronghorns. It's not the Parade of anything else. It's a Parade of Pronghorns. And so to find something that was also pronghorn related, finally found a company who does skulls, pronghorn skulls made out of resin. And the thought with that company, what they do is they make those so then you who harvest pronghorn can just take the horns off of the ones that you've harvested and not have to wait for European mount with the bugs and all this stuff to do that. It's
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so then it's immediate, right, where you can just take the horns off the pronghorn, put them on this skull, and you have a European mounted with your harvested horns. Well, I don't have any horns, right? So I contacted them and said, I love what this is, but also I would need horns. Could you fabricate this for us? And they're a small company, husband and wife, they have a couple kids, and they were like, yeah, we've never tried that. I'm going to try that. Let's see it. And so they said yes, and we said yes, and so we have 10 of those as well. So those will be 10 local artist painted European mounted skulls that will also be auctioned off during the Parade of Pronghorns event.
And then I have to say, but wait, there's more, because there's another layer to the artistry.
Our Prairie and Pronghorn Small Works Gallery, or Small Arts Gallery. This is a show that is encouraging artists of really any type of medium to create something and submit it for us to sell. And during the event itself, during the Pronghorn event, the Parade of Pronghorns auction, and it is up to a 6x6 size. So it can be photography, it can be painting, it could be three-dimensional artwork. Specifically looking at Heather for this, again, she's working on something really cool. It can be fabric. It can. There's really no limitations on what it is. Only the size limitation, and that is 6x6 art up to framed 8x8 size. And this will be shown. They're all going to be set at a $75 price point. So each piece of art that will be donated to us from these artists will be set just at a straight $75, and those are only for sale the night of the event, September 10th.
Right. Now, can people buy those online?
No, I don't believe those will be
Okay.
online. Now, this is something maybe that changes, but
Right.
as of right now, I'm not thinking that's an online one.
Yeah.
It's an in-person one.
So one of the things I really appreciate about the whole event, one, the layers of art, the availability for people. Sometimes people really want to come to watch the auction itself because they just think that's fun. We do have some people that have come that are like, okay, this is the one I want, and I want this on auction night. But to be able to have layers for people, like they know that they can buy a $75 original artwork from a local artist. A lot of people really like that.
In addition to that type of stuff, there's going to be some merchandise available. I love a good sticker. I love merchandise, right? So there'll be things like that that are featuring our pronghorns and our different artistry as well. In addition, there'll be food. There'll be a beverage tent. We have live music lined up too.
Oh, good.
A local man here will be playing acoustic guitar.
I love that.
It's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
Now, if you are an RMA member, like I said, this event starts at 6. If you're an RMA member, so Rockpile Museum Association member, you actually get a perk. You get to come in at 5 instead of at 6, and you kind of get to have first dibs on the artwork and
Nice.
get into the drink table.
Nice.
Drink tent first,
Yeah.
the food tent first. It's a little perk, a little thank you for being one of our members. Membership is as low as $10 for those who are 65 and older, and there's different price points. In addition to getting into this really cool event an hour early, it does give you access to the museum for a whole year of your membership. You can come and go anytime that you would like to, bring friends with you. In addition, other perks as well. But this is a pretty big one for the RMA members that you get to come a little bit early and enjoy before crowds.
Yeah,
crowds
it
show
is.
up.
And you know what? A lot of times, a lot of local people don't realize they can buy a membership to the museum. And we talk a lot about that when we have grandparents that will come in. They're bringing their grands, especially in the summer. They want to, a lot of people don't realize how much the museum has changed, how many hands-on things there are. We got a great testimonial from Tracy from the Children's Developmental Services that this is, and I said Tracy, it's actually Gwen Barstad, who said, you know, there was some concern about bringing the littles to the museum, and she goes, it's absolutely fabulous. We've opened Playland, and so there's lots of hands-on things. People don't know that they can purchase a membership, which actually helps the museum. They can stop in. They can literally bring in kids for 20 minutes. The museum is clean, it's quiet, it's air conditioned, it's heated also. And so I think that's a great way. And then the level of perks to be able to get in. I didn't know that, so that's good.
Additional little things of a thank you for being a member and supporting the RMA through the years, and they get to come in a little bit early, so different events.
And then backing up, so the European mounts, will they be auctioned like the full set?
Live auctioned as well. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, so
All
they'll
right.
be
So
auctioned
people can
to-
online those?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep,
All
that
right.
is the plan for it.
I love that.
I know. It'll be,
So
it's
good.
going to be really fun. It's going to be a lot of, I just envision just a really fun community event. Kids, of course, are welcome. It's just, it'll be fun, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, and I think one of the things that people have started to notice is that the museum has become much more vibrant. We're working really, really hard to have different kinds of things. We're traveling. We're doing these pronghorns. People can see them outside. We're doing different presentations. We're taking a group to Scotland. And so as part of that entire, like, injecting vibrance and life into the Rockpile Museum, this becomes this, I'm really proud of you and proud of the RMA for doing it, because it really pushes us into something that I think the community really needs to see, and we hope that you attend.
Absolutely.
Because this is groundbreaking. This is history making. That's what you're doing. You're making history.
There we go, right at the museum. But like flipping the script a little bit, as one of my artists, how has that felt on your end? One, you're working at the museum, but you also have a pronghorn that'll be up for auction. What was that whole process like for you too?
So it's all really good. I think you and I had talked about doing this, and I was like, oh yeah. And then the minute you said you were going to do it, I was like, I will totally apply. So then that's the first layer.
Yeah.
You're like, I work here. People are like, Heather, you work here. And I said, yes, I do. Does that mean I can't participate?
You were an artist before you worked there, though. I mean, artist for a long time.
Well, yeah. And so getting selected felt like a big honor. That really did. And then taking my pronghorn home and starting that process. And people don't realize a lot of times when your canvas is a three-dimensional creature, it changes your process. It changes how you, so had to work through some of those things. And then not wanting to do a realistic one. I wanted to do something more whimsical or more like Wyoming. Mine is where stardust blooms. And every art piece that I do is a process. It's coming through doing different things. And the flowers, which I find myself as I get older, more and more flowers, it's really a tribute to my mom that I lost when I was 22. And she was big into horticulture and into the garden club here, and it's kind of my way to keep that tie with her. And then you get it done, and then you bring it, and then it's up against all the other pronghorn. And the natural inclination of people is to compare.
Right.
Well, so then you feel like you had a kid that's on the auction block or something, and everyone's going,
which one's yours?
Exactly. Well, not even. We have some people that come in like, why is that blue? And I'm like, oh, here we go. Here we go. So it's been fun to see people's reaction. I think people are surprised. You know, we had the governor. The governor came and looked at them. They thought they were fabulous. So you just realize that art has such a great impact. And when it's anchored in tradition, we are one of the, well, we're probably not one of the few, but we certainly have a lot of pronghorn in this area. And so to be able to have that animal in particular as the startup, they're small enough that they're, I got to do one of the horses when we did Easter seals. That was a very different deal because those are so big. This was very manageable. And then just to see, I love seeing how all these artists have the exact same starting block. And then most of us are using the same kinds of materials, but they look completely different.
That's been absolutely incredible to see the difference of it. And like I said, how each one is so different and unique, but they are so beautiful all displayed together too.
They are. And it's, I think people then are just amazed because as they're looking at them, they're like, oh no. We even had some people come in, oh, those are different. And you're like, nope. The pronghorn mold is the same. They just look that different. So I'm very proud of being able to be a part of that. It's always like the auction night. That'll be hard. Just because it is, you feel like it's a personal acceptance or rejection. So I don't know if any of the other artists feel that way or they even talk about it, but I have no problem talking about it. I'll probably be hiding in the corner somewhere, be like, please pay money for this.
And all the money that's raised is for the Rockpile Museum Association, and with the hopes that this will be heading towards a new museum down the road is our big dream, that the money that we're raising here gets to be an egg for that, or anything else that the museum comes up with in between now and then that's like, hey, we need some support in this way too. So all of it's good money, all of it's great, and we hope it brings in just a wonderful amount of money. And so one of the things that we'd ask you guys to do, you can visit the museum to find out more about it. You have printed up cards. How else can people find out? Rockpileassociation.org is our website, or Facebook. Find us at Rockpile Museum Association, and you can see on there, especially our website is really a great place to find information about the event, about the artists in general, each one specifically. You can look at each one of the pronghorns and click on and read about the artist. You can read about the DIY kits. You can purchase from our website too when they're restocked, and find out all the different layers. So really the website is a great place, so rockpileassociation.org. Or really, if you can't find it, stop into the museum and we'll point you in the right direction.
Exactly. And one of the things that we'd ask is if you have friends that are not on social media, please let them know. We battle that a lot as far as getting information into the hands of folks that don't do social media or even have computers. So make sure that everybody knows that they're invited. It's going to be fun. I love the live music. It'll be a great deal.
It's going to be a great night.
Yeah. So everyone is invited. Anything else?
Nothing on my end. That's really what we're focusing on now. Any other upcoming things at the museum in the next couple weeks?
There's always upcoming things at the museum. Actually, one of the things, thank you for saying that, the week after this big shindig, we're also having a very private cultural immersion dinner.
We say private, but it's not invite only.
Correct. But it's only 60 people. So we are going to have this beautiful bison dinner that'll be prepared. The setting will be sunset behind the museum and the trees, surrounded by crow teepees while we are eating traditionally prepared bison. There'll be a stew, pemmican, vegetables. There will be fancy dancers, a drum group, and educators that are really talking about beadwork and even the music and the culture about bison. So very, very excited about that. And tickets will go on sale. We're still formulating details, but they'll be, when this airs, they'll be on there. So
You can find those at the museum.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Find those at the museum, and we're having a great time.
Yeah.
Christmas is coming.
Oh man, yeah. The biggest thing I think would be encourage those who are watching, if you haven't been into the museum,
Yes.
come see us.
Yes.
It's always changing. It's really fun. There's something new all the time. It's like you turn the corner and you see, oh, I didn't see that before. That's new. Or
Yes.
So it's definitely worth the visit.
I got a little bold not long ago and said, if you think it's still the same, I dare you to come in. So that would be my response. But
I like that.
if nothing else, Tara, thank you so much.
thank
and
you.
thank you for all your work.
Yes.
The RMA
Yeah.
is doing a great job.
Thank you very much.
So, all right, till next time. Thanks, guys.